Hey, beautiful people. Good morning. I can't sleep, so I'm up. I have to get up in a few hours for a class. So it's the day we celebrate Martin Luther King Day. So I figured I'll run this video with you guys. I was watching Donald Trump and this video on him bringing back whole milk to the schools. I'm going to watch with you guys everything I search for educational purposes and all that good stuff. Let me get into my video. And hopefully y'all are doing okay this Monday, right? Let's see if I can find it.
First two items, and we're going to get going after that. We're talking about a couple of things. We have some news on Iran, which we're going to talk about.
So shortly before you all came in, the president signed two executive
What's
actions.
good, Daniel? Can you hear me?
The first is the result of a Section 232 trade investigation into critical minerals supplies. What it does is it sets up a mechanism, a process by which the United States will seek to secure its international supply chain of critical minerals and critical mineral-derived products. The second is actually the result of another Section 232 trade investigation. This one into semiconductors. It sets up a two-phase process. Under the first phase, semiconductors that are imported into the United States of America that are not then used domestically to build out RAI or computing architecture here will be subject to a 25% tariff. So, for example, semiconductors that were transshipped through the United States to other foreign countries would be subject to that 25% tariff. But those are two executive actions the president reviewed shortly before you all came in.
So they're going to sell chips, basically, and it's a chip. It's not the highest level, but it's a very good level. China wants them and other people want them, and we're going to be making 25% on the sale of those chips, basically. So we're allowing them to do it, but the United States is getting 25% of the chips in terms of the dollar value, and I think it's a very good deal, great deal. We're taking billions of dollars, and they've done a fantastic job. But it's not the Blackwell or the Rubin; those are the two top. But it's a very good chip, and people want it, and we think it's in our best interest to do. And we have some other little things to talk about. Maybe we'll start that first. Should I start that first? I think they're going to want me to. I have a feeling they're going to want me to. We have been notified and pretty strongly, but we'll find out what that all means. But we've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll be very upset, including you will be very upset. But that's just gotten to me some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution. And another piece of information that I think is very important is the leaker has been found and is in jail right now. And that's the leaker on Venezuela. A very bad leaker. So there could be some others, and we'll let you know about that. We're out on their trail. But the leaker has been found, and the leaker's in jail.
Hey, little Miss Patriot.
He'll probably be in jail for a long time. Let's see what happens. So we'll let you know. We'll keep you apprised as to what's going to happen with that. And I want to thank all of the incredible people behind me, political people, both Republicans and Democrats, because they like whole milk. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whole milk is, right? The great thing. The senator was in the office many years ago. It feels like many years ago, but quite a while ago, right at the beginning of my first term.
Yeah, with Elijah Cummings.
Right, with Elijah, a very good person. You and I had a good relationship with him.
Leaker. What's that mean?
At that time, I think you were a congressman. You've made a lot of progress. You've done very well.
Some disagree.
I don't disagree. I think you did a great job. But it's great to have you here again. Appreciate it. So today I'm delighted to sign the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act into law. which is a very important thing for our farmers, and I think maybe more important for our people, right? The people that drink milk. This is the first bill signing of the new year, and it will ensure that millions of school-aged children have access to high-quality milk as we make America healthy again. I want to thank Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, who's behind me, Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Senators John Boozman and Mike Crapo, Roger Marshall, Peter Welch, as well as Representative G.T. Thompson and Tim Wahlberg, all great people. Also with us today is USDA National Nutrition Advisor, Dr. Ben Carson, my friend for a long time. We went head to head, and it was not easy going head to head with Ben. He's great. He still looks good. That's because he drinks a lot of milk. And some of our nation's wonderful dairy farmers and their children. They're going to be farmers for a long time, we hope. As it currently stands, schools participating in the National School Lunch Program are only able to offer students low or non-fat milk options. That was changed during the Obama administration. A lot of people disagreed with it at the time. With this legislation, schools will finally be able to expand their offerings to include nutritious whole milk. It's actually a legal definition, whole milk. And it's whole with a W for those of you that have a problem. Most of the media will get that. This is the perfect follow-up to the new real food pyramid, and Secretary Kennedy and Secretary Rollins announced that last week. You probably heard. This legislation also allows parents to directly request a substitute for milk for children with dairy intolerance. Previously, parents were required to submit a written statement from a doctor, but we're eliminating that rather ridiculous policy, allowing parents to choose what is best for their child, which is a big move. Hard to believe that that would be a big thing, but it is. And of course, these changes will be major victories for the American dairy farmers, who we love and who voted for me in great numbers, I will say. I think I got every one of them. In December, I also signed the Secure Rural Schools Reauthorization Act. And I'm proud to say that these two pieces of legislation will give school-age children across the country the resources and support that they need, not just to succeed, but really to thrive in life and later on in life. So I want to ask Secretary Rollins to say a few things, and then I'd like to ask Secretary Kennedy and Dr. Carson. I'd also like to hear from these great political leaders, senators, congressmen, if they'd like to say something. I'd be honored. So Brooke, do you want to start?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And what a joy and an honor it is to be here. I feel like I have the best job in the world with representing all of these farmers. And Mr. President, not in our lifetime, has been a president who loves and supports our farmers more, and certainly the dairy farmers. I want to thank all of our farmers here today, sir. Most of them are 5th and 6th generation. They represent states from all across our country, and bringing the children to and seeing what the next generation of dairy farmers looks like. The amazing thing is some of these farmers back here from Butler, Pennsylvania, he milks.
Where?
Butler, Pennsylvania.
I love Butler. I do.
Yeah, and they love you. They love you. But he milks about 40 to 60 cows. And then we have Jamie from Wisconsin, who milks about 5,000 cows. So they represent all across the spectrum.
Wow.
And what this means. And I think it's important to note that in the last year, your support for these American farmers, for rural America, the One Big Beautiful bill was the largest investment in rural America in history. I think that's important to note. The trade, and I see my friend Jameson Greer over there and Howard Lutnick on this end. We've opened up more than 24 different markets. Milk exports, dairy exports are up 23% just in the last year. And when you think about the ag deficit that happened under Joe Biden and the 4 years, we went from a surplus of agriculture products when we left the first time to a $50 billion deficit when we came back.
Yep.
So these are massive, massive wins for America. And I think it's important to note that. I also want to note, and you said it as well, that over a decade ago, Michelle Obama in this very room made an announcement on a short-sighted campaign to ditch whole milk in schools, and that's what we're working to fix today. Last week, Bobby Kennedy and Ben Carson and Dr. Oz and the whole crew, sir, announced the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2025 to 2030, which also reintroduced full-fat dairy into a healthy diet. And today, by signing this bill, Senator Marshall and Congressman Thompson and both all the wonderful men to the right who worked so hard on this, Peter Welch, it is a bipartisan issue, and understanding where we are in this country and how important the health of certainly our children are is so important. USDA is posting today the guidance. So we're signing the bill, and USDA, we're moving at Trump time, is posting today the new rulemaking that is necessary to get whole milk back into school lunches. So that's a really, really big deal.
So how long will that take?
It should just take a few weeks, and then the milk starts moving in. So it's a big announcement, sir, for our schools and our children. And I know Secretary Kennedy will talk a little bit about the health issues, so I won't do that. I'll skip over that. You mentioned, and the last thing I'll say, I know we're here to sign the bill on whole milk, but Senator Crapo's work and our wonderful friend Doug LaMalfa, who we lost way too soon,
Right.
Their work on securing Rural Schools Reauthorization Act, how important that too is for rural America. 700 eligible rural counties across the nation are now guaranteed funds for schools and roads and infrastructure. So, sir, you say it all the time. Those are your people. They voted for you and with us and saw your vision from the beginning. This is who we're here to support today, in addition to the whole milk for healthy schools, which will help all children. Just remember, eat real food and drink whole milk. What a joy again it is to be here, and I especially want to thank all of our incredible farmers for what you do. So, sir, with that, I'll turn it over to Secretary Kennedy.
And just before you do that, how are we doing with food prices, bringing them down?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad you asked, because I brought a chart, and that just happened to be right behind me. So speaking of milk, milk is actually way down, and I know we're here to talk about that today. Obviously,
44%.
that's right, sir.
44% down. Milk, 44% down.
Eggs is way down. Milk is way down. This is just since we took office, sir. Fresh whole chicken down 2%, cheese down, tomatoes down, butter down. Of course, eggs are way down. Potatoes down almost 3%, fresh fruits down almost 3%. But this is just the beginning. And as we continue to bring the cost of farming down, bring the cost.
I'm glad she talked about the cost of groceries, because it is a lot lower. I live in California, and I was really shocked when I went to go buy eggs and milk and those kind of things. So I'm excited about this for some reason, about the milk.
Of inputs down, open up the markets, support our farmers, we'll see even more affordability.
Not it's bonus.
And eggs are down 31%, so that's really something. Where's Bobby?
Bobby's right here.
Right here, Mr. President.
Go ahead, wherever you are. Go ahead. Good to see you. We like Bobby.
And I want to echo what Brooke said about finally having a president that sees the alignment between farm prosperity,
That's right.
good getting real food to our children. Today, President Trump signs the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2025, a long overdue correction to the school nutrition policy that puts children's health first. For years, Washington treated fat, especially saturated fat, as the enemy. It made a war on saturated fat. This is the peacetime president. He's made it 8.5 deals ending wars, and he's also ended the war on saturated fat. As a result, whole and 2% milk disappeared from school menus, even though science has never shown that whole milk harms children. Evidence increasingly shows the opposite. The panoply of nutrients in whole milk is critical to brain development and physical development in our children. Whole and 2% milk provide 13 essential ingredients critical for growth, development, immune system function, and overall health, including protein, calcium, vitamin D, and healthy fats. Yet since these milk options were removed more than a decade ago, school milk consumption and meal participation have declined dramatically. Today, between 68% and 94% of school-age boys and girls fail to meet recommended dairy intake according to federal guidelines. And schools limit milk choices. The kids do not move to healthier substitutes. They move to caffeinated drinks, to sugar drinks, and to sweetened beverages with little or no nutritional value and the potential to wreak havoc on metabolic health, which is driving the chronic disease epidemic in our country.
Morning, Scout.
During the same period that whole milk was regulated out of lunchroom, rates of childhood obesity and diabetes rose significantly. Removing whole milk did not improve health, it damaged it. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, this law fixes that mistake. It allows schools in the National School Lunch Program to offer whole reduced fat, low fat, or fat-free, flavored or unflavored, organic or conventional. It restores choice to schools, parents, and students and encourages consumption of nutrient-dense foods that kids will actually drink.
Good
The
morning,
law
Dad.
also removes unnecessary bureaucracy by allowing parents or legal guardians to request milk substitutes without the necessity of involving a doctor. And it corrects a flawed technical rule by excluding fluid milk from saturated fat calculations that distorted school menus. Milk fat is not junk food. Treating it that way undermined nutrition and ignored the science. Last week, Secretary Rollins and I unveiled President Trump's new food pyramid and updated our dietary guidelines with a clear message: eat real food. This law puts that principle into action. As Secretary of Health and Human Services, I support this reform because it aligns federal policy with evidence-based nutrition, not ideology or dogma. Healthy kids need real food. They need real protein. They need healthy fats, and they need policies grounded in reality and the science. I want to thank President Trump again for his vision, for signing this bill, for continuing to put children's health first. This is exactly the kind of practical change that will make America healthy again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. We have some milk here. It's been sitting here for 5 days, so it's from the original bottle. And I brought it so the press can have some. You can swig it all out of it. Remember the old days when we were kids, everybody shared a bottle? Today, we tend not to do that, but if you'd like to, if you trust the person that you're drinking after, it's right here. It's yours, okay? It's semi-fresh, 5-6 days old. Thank you. So Ben Carson, special man, knows a lot about health. He looks better than ever. So Ben, how about it?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for being interested in the.
I didn't
health
see
of
that.
people, making a big difference, and facilitating an atmosphere where the agencies can work together. Secretary Rollins, Secretary Kennedy, Marty McCary, Dr. Oz, the whole group, every week at least meeting once to talk about these things, and it's made a big difference. And I want to thank the dairy farmers. I know you guys have been in the doghouse for a little while. You're out of the doghouse as of today.
Yes, sir.
And, whole milk is a wonderful beverage. Good protein. We talk about real food. It is real food. Healthy fats, important nutrients. You look at vitamin D, you look at calcium, phosphorus, the things that are absolutely essential for bone development and for teeth. But as a neurosurgeon, the thing I really like is what it does for the brain. The brain starts to develop right after conception and adds millions of neurons every single day. Continues to do that right up until the mid to late 20s. Now, it's important what that brain is getting during the development. Is it getting soda or is it getting milk?
So milk would help your cognitive ability.
Absolutely. You can tell who's been
Take a
drinking milk.
cognitive test. I've taken a lot of them. I've aced every one of them because I drink milk.
It's good for it, and it shows.
Do you consider there to be a big difference in taste between what you are having and this? This is just, it just looks so good sitting there, right?
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
looks
sir.
better. They stick. Go ahead, Ben, sorry to interrupt you.
When you go to school and you get the kids milk, real milk, they love it. When you pour this stuff that looks like, dish pan water, you don't particularly want that. It doesn't taste good either. So this is a great day. It's only a part of what's happening with our emphasis on health. Our longevity has been going down, and other industrialized nations it's been going up. It's because we haven't been paying attention to this. That has changed, and we want to thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you've done too for the country. I'd like to ask a few of our senators to say a couple of words. Maybe we should start with the Democrat in our midst. What do you think? Yeah,
Peter Welch.
How about Peter Welch? And,
Yeah.
thank you very much for being here.
No, thank you. Our dairy farmers are so vitally important, and they have a way of life that transmits from one generation to another. And it's tougher than ever for our dairy farmers in Vermont, our dairy farmers in Pennsylvania, and others, South Carolina, are here. But they're the lifeblood of the community. Nobody works harder, and nobody does things that are better for our nutrition. And also for our kids, I'm in agreement. The kids having access to healthy milk is really good milk, whole milk is really good for them. And one of the things that I get very excited about, that really the Vermont farmers talked about, is they have their milk from their farm that then goes directly to many of our schools. And then kids come out to the farms and start seeing how milk is made, what farming is about. That's good for America. It's not a party deal. This has been a bipartisan effort. I appreciate working with my colleague, Senator Marshall, who did a great job, and GT when I was in the House. And Tim, thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
President.
Peter. It's got to be like a 90-10 issue, another one of those 90-10. It's good to have you on our side. But it's a great issue, and it's a great thing to do, and we're very proud of it. We're very proud of our farmers. Senator, do you want to say a few words?
Sure, I'll be very brief. We all want to see you sign this bill. But I really appreciate you and Brooke bringing up the Secure Rural Schools legislation. This is critical legislation to our rural communities across this country, and we have to fight every couple of years to get it extended just a couple of years. And this extension we got this year went back to pick up a few years that we missed, and is going to expire again at the end of the next year. And Mr. President and Secretary, I'm going to encourage us to get back in here to sign a Secure Rural Schools bill that is permanent. I want to set a goal, or hope that you'll set a goal with me to get that done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody? Please,
Mr. President. Yeah, Mr. President, thank you so much for having us here on behalf of Kansas dairy farmers. Thank you. Milk is the most wholesome, nutritious drink known to humankind. Not only is it full of essential nutrients, it's full of healthy fats as well as protein. As Dr. Carson pointed out, those healthy fats are what helps that brain develop and help you absorb the fat soluble vitamins. The protein is why you drink milk and you're not hungry again in 30 minutes. And I have to point out that under the previous couple administrations ago, thanks to them, we have a whole generation of young adults who have osteopenia and osteoporosis because they never drank milk for an entire generation. So getting milk back in the schools is going to give us healthy bones and healthy minds. It sticks to your ribs and it tastes great. Thanks for your leadership. Yes, sir, Mr. President. Thank you.
Politically first, and then we'll go to the farmers.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Mr. President, thank you so much. I want to ask Dr. Carson if there's an age limit on the cognitive ability. Drinking a whole lot more of this. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We literally have legislators here that have worked on this for years. This is something that's been very, very difficult. You're able to help us
You
get
would
it
think it
over
would have been very easy, actually.
Exactly, but you were able to help us get it over the
Yeah.
finish line. You and your great team, Brooke, and all of these people have done such a good job. Not only with this issue, but all that we're doing for the farm community, which is so, so very important. So thank you very, very much. And I know that you're going to continue to support farmers like you have.
We do, right from the
Since you
beginning.
were elected. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Mr. President, GT Thompson,
Yep.
Chairman of the House Agriculture Committee. I have been working on this bill for 15 years, and thank you.
That's amazing.
Because of your support and your leadership, we were able to get this across the line.
It's such a shame that it would be so hard. Do you think it
No,
would be-
common sense
It's common
was
sense.
lost, and in the benefits today go to those precious children that we see over there. It goes to our dairy farm families who work so hard 7 days a week. There's no day off for a dairy farmer. And quite frankly, our rural communities who, when the misguided move to take whole milk and 2% milk and flavor out of the schools, we lost a generation, probably 2 generations of milk drinkers. And it devastated those rural communities because you lose the dairy farms, then you lose all the supplies, businesses, and then you lose grocery stores and you lose community pharmacies. Well, that day ends today with your signature. We reverse that trend and we build a robust rural economy. And I'll just close with what will be the theme of my next bumper sticker, whole milk heals.
That's right. That's what they say. I think it's probably true. Anybody else?
Well, Mr. President, as Chairman of Education and Workforce Committee, this fits, with the kids, with what they can enjoy in school and grow from. Also to have G.T. Thompson, the sponsor of the bill, on that committee. And I think I've worked with you for 15 years, but we finally got it done in committee. This makes an impact for education, for our workforce, the health that's there, and the reality of what this farming industry does. I live in the most diverse farm district in Michigan. Thanks for coming to Michigan yesterday.
It was great.
And my kids were raised on, it's legal now, raw milk, taken right out of the bulk tank. And my oldest son became a Pulitzer-nominated journalist for the Chicago Tribune, and I think the milk did it, right? Then I have the benefit of Dr. Carson being a graduate of Andrews University in my district. So all of that goes together. Thank you for signing this. It'll make a difference.
Great job. So how about a couple of the farmers? Would anybody like to speak? Would you like to, you want to just say how great milk is?
It's so amazing. Yes, Mr. President, we want to say thank you for doing this. It's been stated several times how long this took. And so thank you for your support and leadership and finally making this happen. As a mom and a dairy farmer, this isn't just a big win for the dairy farm families across the country, but as it's been said, the millions of school-age kids that depend on school lunches for their nutrition and to fuel their bodies. So thank you.
So they've been fighting this for years then, huh?
15 years.
Wow.
For
Have you
all
been
these
fighting it?
kids.
You're too young to be fighting it. Have you been fighting it for that long?
For a while, we've been fighting it. I mean, I think I speak for everybody. It's been a long time coming. So your leadership is it.
Well, it's great. I had no idea. It just seems to make sense, right? Hard to believe. When you said 15 years, I said, you have to be kidding. It's government is tough. Government can be very tough. How about you? Would you like to say something?
So we are very grateful and thankful that you passed this bill because it is common sense as to what we should be consuming,
Right.
whole foods and whole milk. Unfortunately, that has not been the case for a few years, but research shows and our MAHA movements have been taking the right steps to make America healthy. And our children are growing into active teenagers and athletes. And what do they need? They need strong bones. They need the energy. They need the healthy muscles. And so we are so grateful that the science is there and we are actually at the right point and the right step, making sure America is healthy. So we are very thankful.
It's so great. I look forward to getting it all the time. So, I open a refrigerator, I say milk with rice, and milk with water, and milk with everything. And I say, what kind of milk is it? That's what I like right there. That's great. Thank you very much, Peter. Please, Bim.
Hi, my name is Patrice Onwuka. I am the Center Director at the Independent Women's Forum. I work on economic policies,
Right.
but I'm also a mom of boys. As you can see, this is Jesse. Jesse, want to see your name and age?
My name is Jesse. I am 6 years old. I am 7 years old. I want to be an engineer when I grow up. I am a first grader. I also know where does milk come from.
Good job.
Where does it come from?
So first farmers milk it, and then next they put it into a coal tank, and then they to take the germs out, they put it very hot, and then they put it back in the coal tank, and then they haul it to somewhere that's cold in a big refrigerator.
What, that is unbelievable. Everybody, these guys want it. Let me tell you, politicians want it. I'm going to give that to you. Is that okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's
And this is
beautiful.
Daniel,
Wow.
his younger brother.
Right, my
Daniel,
goal.
how old are you?
5,
And what grade are you in?
kindergarten.
Kindergarten. And these boys are involved in sports. They go to a public school in the Maryland area, and
great.
many of their friends, are drinking, the kind of options that they don't really like. And so it's good that as they get to drink a glass of milk every morning, their friends will be able to drink that at school as
I
well.
think
So
it's
thank you
great.
very much for
Beautiful
what you're
boys.
doing
Beautiful,
for
beautiful
public
people.
school kids in particular.
Beautiful people. Thank you very much.
Lord.
Great job too.
Thank you.
Please.
I'm Amber Schwartz. I'm also with Independent Women, but I'm here with my son, Luke, who is 13 years old. We're in Alexandria, Virginia. Luke needs a lot of protein right now to grow. In fact, his doctor just told us between 60 and 70 grams a week. And I can't feed him a whole chicken every day. So supplementing with milk is really helping us. Unfortunately, at school, they've offered skim milk and chocolate, and he does not like either. And so he has been turning to the juice boxes and other drinks that have sugar. And so thank you for giving him the opportunity, and
Great.
parents too, to make a choice.
That's great. That's really great. How about you?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm
Nice,
the one.
beautiful red hair. Look at that.
I tried to match here, so.
Yes.
But I'm the aforementioned one from Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
So you know that place very well,
I do.
and we still love you. So,
Thank you.
but Mr.
Thank you.
President, I was thinking last night when I was milking what I was going to say, and I thought, well, this is such a monumental day in agriculture, not just dairy farmers, but for all of agriculture, because this helps me as a producer, helps the processors. It also helps these kids here. So it's good all around. And this is perfect legislation, a great day for America is what this is.
Thank you very much. Beautifully said, and we appreciate it. And it is a great place that you come from. I love it. Please.
Mr. President, thank you. It's an honor to be here. And, I think this is about choices. This day's been a long time coming. We've been waiting on this for many years. And, it's great that we're able to provide choices now in schools with whole milk. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for everything that you do for the dairy industry, that us dairy farmers produce valuable nutrients every day for consumers.
So you're going to need to produce more milk because you're not mixing it up with all sorts of things, right?
That's right.
That's great. That's a big, how much of an increase will that be? Do you have any idea?
They're pretty good.
A lot more.
A lot more.
lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great. Well, that's so good for the industry.
Absolutely.
Hard to believe you had to wait so long.
Yep. So thank you.
Would you like to say
Mr.
something?
President, I'd like to thank you again for your support behind this and the gentleman standing behind you. Like you said, we worked 15 years on it. I advocate for our industry a lot out in the community, and I know I've been into high schools, I've been in the middle schools where the students want milk. I did a taste test one time at a high school where we gave them whole milk versus the skim milk their school was giving them. The kids love the whole milk. So just your all support behind us, your support getting it pushed through. I really appreciate what you've done and what the gentleman behind you were able to do.
We support the farmer.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
farmer knows what's right, better than anybody else. Bobby would tell you that. I mean, the farmer, they know what's right.
Yes, sir.
Especially when it comes to things like this.
We-
Sorry it took so long. It was 15 years. I can't believe it. Howard, would you like to say something?
What's amazing is that the president has the leadership and common sense to drive the right outcomes. Why should kids not be given the choice to drink whole milk? How is that even possible? So it's amazing to work for you because you just own common sense and you're driving it through our economy, you're driving it through the farmers, got great leadership in Secretary Rollins and Secretary Kennedy. And it's great fun to be here because, think of today. How much fun is this? It's just common sense. Come
Even
on.
like the Oval Office. It's just-
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Even the media, they come here and they're here a lot, but it's sort of like you're in the Oval Office. It's the whole ballgame. It all begins and ends and then re-begins here. There is no place like it, right? Isn't that exciting? There's no place like, if you love the country especially, there's no place like it. So thank you. Thank you, Howard, very much. So let's sign it. Should I sign it?
Yes, sir.
Your last chance, I think. We could go another 15 years. Let's do it. Do it?
You go stand right there.
Come on, right over here. We have to do a good one here. This is right?
Yes, sir.
This is an important one for me. Okay, not bad. Not bad.
Well, I'm excited.
We can never make a mistake. They made a lot of mistakes. Anyway, here it is. Thank you. Thank you all very much. You have it? right?
Thank you.
Gonna
Thank
drink it?
you.
I'm gonna start drinking a lot of.
We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. That's great. You hold that on for a little while. You'll give it to us later, okay? It's a good job you did. That's great. So any questions on what we just signed, please?
Mr. President, Mr. President,
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I've got one with milk. Coming from a family, my dad was a dairy engineer from Texas Tech
So you're a
University.
big, strong guy.
There it is. Drink lots of whole milk in my day. Would you look at this as being a shift from what the industry kind of went woke with the oat milk and the almond
It's
milk?
going the exact, it's
It's
amazing.
going exactly the opposite direction. Let's talk about the impact of dairy farmers on this whole milk.
There are a lot of changes being made in the last year. As you know, we're still a little bit less than a year. I think there's probably never been a year like this for a president or for a country. We have tremendous success. We've had success with everything we've done. And the economy now is coming back. And here's an example of farmers. They're going to be working harder to produce because it's not going to be watered down by something. And it's great to see it. And if you'd like a zip of that, I'd give it to you. It's actually been here. It's only been here for a few minutes before we started. It's not 5 days. 5 days and open, right? No, it's not, but it's an honor. What we've done in the country in the last year, it's incredible. All of us together. It's incredible. So I appreciate the question.
Mr. President, on Iran, you said that the killing has stopped. Who told you that the killings have stopped there? And if it's the
We have
Iranian
we
regime?
have been informed by very important sources on the other side, and they've said the killing has stopped and the executions won't take place. There was supposed to be a lot of executions today, and that the executions won't take place. And we're going to find out. I mean, I'll find out after this. You'll find out. But we've been told on good authority, and I hope it's true. Who knows, right? Who knows?
We've seen the
Crazy
body
world.
bags, so how do you trust
No,
them?
you've seen that over the last few days, and they said people were shooting at them with guns, and they were shooting back, and it's one of those things. But they told me that there'll be no executions, and so I hope that's true.
Does this mean military action is now off the table against Iran?
Oh, we're going to watch it and see what the process is, but we were given a very good statement by people that are aware of what's going on.
Is this still considering military action? Is
When
that
they
still
say
a
no
threat?
executions, everyone is talking about a lot of executions were taking place today. We were just told no executions. I hope that's true. That's a big thing. Yes, ma'am.
The foreign minister of Greenland, she said a while ago in a press conference in an embassy of Denmark that she made very clear in the meeting that happened here in the White House, what are their limits? She also said that it was a very respectful meeting. Are those limits going to be respected?
Well, we're going to see what happens with Greenland. We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happens. They're going to brief me on the meeting right after this conference. In fact, the sooner I get you out, the faster I'm going to know exactly what happened. But we have a very good relationship with Denmark, as you know. We'll see. But, we're doing the Golden Dome. We're doing a lot of things, and we really need it. If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in, and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, but we can do everything
There's
about it.
no more in what they can do there?
Well, we're going to see. I mean, look, we're going to see what happens, but we need it. I'm not the first one. This was talked about by President Truman, and 40 years before President Truman, they were talking about it. They've been talking about this for 100 years. This is not anything so new. A lot of people don't realize that, but this was a hot subject. Probably not as hot as it is now, but it was a hot subject for a long time. We need it for national security, and that includes for Europe. And I spoke with, as you know, Mark, the head of NATO, and he really wants to see something happen. It's very important for national security.
It's being reported that Health and Human Services released frozen funds to Planned Parenthood. I'm wondering why this happened and why Planned Parenthood is receiving any federal
I don't know
funds.
anything about that. Bobby, do you know anything about that?
What was the question?
It's being reported that frozen funds were released to Planned Parenthood in December by HHS. I'm wondering why that happened.
I haven't
I
heard
have
that.
not heard that.
I have not heard that.
Mr. President,
Mr. President.
on NATO, right now, it sounds like you are saying that you would potentially acquire Greenland by force. That would be a NATO country, the
You're saying
United.
that.
Are you saying that? Would you do
No,
that? by
you're
force?
saying that.
Would you
I
acquire
didn't
that by
say it.
force
No,
right
you're
now?
telling me that that's what I'm
I
gonna do.
think we're-
You don't know what I'm gonna do.
So what are the options?
Your
then?
network
Because
doesn't know
the-
either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after the meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right
Well, I
now?
wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not gonna give up options, but it's very important. Greenland is very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is, there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off. They were talking about they put an extra dog, and they were serious about this. They put an extra dog sled there last month. They added a second dog sled. That's not going to do the trick.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan.
Thank you for
and
telling me
Iraq.
that. I appreciate it.
But
I have a very good relationship with Denmark, and we'll see how it all works out. I think something will work out. Yeah.
Venezuela, Cabello, the de facto number 2 in Venezuela right now, he seems pretty reluctant to work with the U.S. And obviously he's
Yes, they just gave us 50 million barrels of oil.
The number 2, the Venezuela security
I don't
chief.
know. I know the number one, we just had a great conversation today, and she's a terrific person. I mean, she's somebody that we've worked with very well. Marco Rubio is dealing with her. I dealt with her this morning. We had a long call. We discussed a lot of things, and I think we're getting along very well with Venezuela. Yes.
Mr. President, a new Assistant Attorney General position dedicated to rooting out fraud.
Yeah, he's fantastic. The person is fantastic.
Who is it?
It's a he.
When are you
I will
gonna-
tell you maybe within minutes. I mean, I don't know if it's appropriate to say yet because we're going through a process, but we have chosen a person who's very tough, very smart, very fair.
You gave a speech yesterday in Michigan about how you've recalibrated the American economy to work for workers, U.S. auto factories. We've seen core inflation's completely tamed. You lowered the trade deficit to the lowest amount since 2009. American exports are growing, but we're also waiting on the Supreme Court case with the tariffs. Given the success that you've had in the first 12 months, what is at stake in this case,
It's a
sir?
little bit like whole milk. I can't believe we even have a case. This was a case started by very China-centric people and also anti-American people, frankly, people that don't want us to do well. Tariffs have helped us stop 8 wars. They've helped us get the best trade numbers we've ever had. They've helped us get $18 trillion brought into the country. And maybe above all else, they've given us tremendous national security. Just the threat of tariffs. You saw that just yesterday when I put tariffs on a certain country. We won't talk about that country, but you know who it is, based on the fact that if you do business with that country, it's going to make them, it's going to bring them to the table a lot faster. So we have made hundreds of billions of dollars with tariffs. We have very little inflation. Think of it. Inflation's gone down and productivity, everything has gone up. We've never taken in money like we have. We've never had anywhere near $18 trillion invested in our country, neither has any other country. It's the biggest number by maybe 5 times, not 5%, 5 times. Nobody's ever seen numbers like this. We have plants going up. You mentioned I was in Michigan yesterday. I was at the Ford plant where they make the Ford 150. It's one of the original plants. It was from before World War I. It's a giant plant. That plant was probably going to be closed. And 2 years ago, they were doing very poorly. And now they just announced yesterday that they're going to go 24 hours around the clock, 3 shifts, which they rarely do. That's Ford. And Ford's having the best numbers they've ever had. General Motors having the best numbers they've ever had. Stellantis, which hasn't been here, is now investing billions, tens of billions of dollars on building in the country. We're building auto plants all over the country. We're building AI all over the country. We're leading China by a lot, and a lot of it has to do with tariffs. That would be a very disappointing decision. And especially since the people that are fighting me are people that want China to do well. And we're doing great against China. We're doing great against everybody. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. As I say often, we're right now the hottest country anywhere in the world. And a year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, you guys, there you have it. What do you think about that? So this overturns the 2012 policy that the Obama administration put out limiting milk options. Donald Trump is bringing it back into school, hoping that more kids would choose to drink milk and make healthier options. My son loves milk. What do you guys think about that? The USA is lucky to have Trump and whole milk. That's right. I agree with you, Mr. Milk Cake. Viva la Trump 2028. That's right, Michael. Call me ignorant, but I didn't know milk went anywhere. I thought we all had access to milk. Gary, we had access to milk, but in 2012, oh my God, I must be tired. Obama limited those options, and so it wasn't available like it is going to be available now. So we like Trump and what he's doing. Okay. So that's it. He has to get, okay, some of you guys, how did milk get you guys upset about Trump? I don't know. A good idea here. Lots of kids need milk. A lot of kids need milk, especially whole milk. Whole milk has a lot of nutrients in it. Our kids are drinking so much garbage, and Donald Trump is trying to make our country healthier, and it starts with healthy food choices. And milk, we all know milk is a wholesome drink. Don't we owe China money? What the hell does that have to do with milk? What's that do with milk? Best country, America. America is awesome. America's an awesome country, guys. Hang on, let me see something quick. What's that dirty? So I don't know. We all lost a lot. Okay, I don't know. American dollars are paying for tariffs, hundreds of billions of dollars out of our pockets due to its high prices. Tariffs brings money into the country. Most people who follow Trump are fatherless. You guys must be tired. Blank stares. What'd you say? Stop monetizing this misery and go get a job. Yeah, I kind of want to play something for you guys that's off subject a little bit. I don't know if I should. I know I should have stayed on topic, but Orange Man makes me so mad. Donald Trump is no longer orange. He's not orange. Just read what you agree with. Okay, so some of you don't like Donald Trump. I love chocolate milk. Happy. I don't know, Michael, if that was a racist comment or not, but whatever. Tariffs are paid for by American consumers. If you don't get it, you're a Trump supporter. I'm not about to get into tariffs right now, but tariffs does a lot of good for the country. Trump got rid of a healthy lunch at school programs. Black Cat fake news. Donald Trump is a malignant narcissist. All right, you guys, let's hear something about the border. All right. No, we're not gonna do that. All right, you guys. Anyway, you're going to get deported. Keep going. You're gonna get deported. Okay. I'll see you on the other side. I remember the milk floats as a kid. Bring them back. Yeah. Why does he eat McDonald's? He's talking about the kids. Donald Trump is big grown. Trump is gold, not orange. That's actually funny. If you can look the term out if you don't know what it means. I'm not about to do anything right now. I'm just chilling and talking to you guys. But I do think that's a good thing. Donald Trump has made a lot of practical sense orders that just make sense. Why would Obama limit the milk options? And how come you guys aren't talking about that stuff? Donald Trump, we need to be healthier. We have so many obese people in the United States. And that also takes a toll on our healthcare. Some of us need to slim down, and our kids need to drink milk. There's nothing wrong with that. Why? She woke up like this, Ghost Samurai. I oh, so I need to go to bed. So I'm like, yo, I'll be keeping it very light today. And when I come back tomorrow, not tomorrow, later today, we'll talk more about what's happening in Minnesota. We will talk more. Maybe I will talk about Greenland. I haven't really touched Greenland yet. We'll see. Martin Luther King Day, I thought, should I play something related to that? But then I said, nah, because you guys love to bring up the race when it's convenient. You love talking about race. And I thought we were getting away from subjects like that. What time am I coming back? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. You guys could jump under my videos and tell me what you want me to come back and talk about. But I was thinking about doing something along the lines of, what's good, Smooth Carter? Where you been? I was thinking about doing something along the lines like that. I don't know. You should just not talk and read more books. That's not nice. That's not nice. Black Cat, what you say? MU, please don't listen in a vacuum. Please look at how tariffs cost Americans money. I will. I want my cookies. He's not picking me. I'm not picking him either. So you think Trump has done no wrong? Did I say that? I was just talking about milk. Talk about what you want. Kevin Peterson is looking like I'll probably visit Minnesota. I live in Palm Springs and we got ice in Coachella. If you guys are familiar with Coachella Valley, ice is here, and I want to go down there and film the chaos that's happening close to my town. I feel like I don't know. But I knew it was going to happen because we have a lot of illegal immigrants here. So it's just a matter of time before Donald Trump came to clean up Coachella. Enjoy the ignorance that Trump preys upon voters like you. I will. You really believe everything he says? I answered that in a question. What does it matter what I believe? I played you a clip of what was happening. And we were talking about milk. That should not have led to a discussion of what I believe and what I don't believe. What I do believe is, yes, Obama took milk out of the schools. Donald Trump is bringing milk back into the schools. And I think it's an excellent thing. So that's what you're asking me. Yes, it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay. Yeah. This is the wrong channel for MLK. How is this the wrong channel for MLK? I don't understand that. Milk does a body good, solid slaps. I drink a lot of milk. If I don't drink milk. You guys will be begging for Trump if you're in the UK now. We've got no freedom of speech. Really? Really in the UK? My child goes to school, all they have is milk. If you want to talk about Martin Luther King Day, go for it. Who cares what the racial idiots say? Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. This is a badass channel. I appreciate you guys. Claude. Can you bring me up? Okay, let me give me a second, you guys. Give me a second. Let me see if I can. Oh shoot. I shouldn't have did that. What on earth is MLK? Martin Luther King's Day? It's Martin Luther King's Day. Let me show you something. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize I was on mute. You guys couldn't hear anything that I said right now? Drink milk you want turn orange. Turn orange. Okay, you guys. I got one more for you. Hang on. I'm going to change the subject real quick before I call it a night. Oh God, I don't know if this is going to work, but let me know if you can hear it.
Tonight with our friend Peter Schweitzer. Nobody investigates and writes about issues like Peter Schweitzer. And we're going to cover a whole panoply of issues, largely related to immigration. You see all the ICE activity taking place, the attacks on ICE, the efforts to obstruct ICE, the Democrat Party attacking ICE. Well, it didn't start yesterday. It didn't start last year. And we have this fabulous new book, and we're going to be able to lace in these events, The Invisible Coup, How American Elites and Foreign Powers Use Immigration as a Weapon. And by that, Peter Schweitzer means a weapon to destroy the United States from within. And he's got it chapter and verse. The book is The Invisible Coup. It comes out Tuesday. Peter, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Mark. Thanks so much for having me on the program. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. You know, Peter Schweitzer, I thought I knew everything there was to know about immigration and these various elements involved in it. I now know I didn't know enough. In fact, I didn't know a whole lot,
Kevin.
Even though I've studied this issue. You've done a
Good night.
tremendous amount of research with your team. You've laid this out, and I mean it, chapter and verse, how this is affecting the country. We see it today, what's happening in our cities. We see it, the river to the sea crowd. We see it in Minneapolis. We see it in LA. We see it all over the country. And you have laid this out, and the American people really need to understand this. So let's get started with your book, The Invisible Coup. First of all, you start off in the book, and you can see I've taken a lot of time going through it because it's a great book. It's a very important book. You start out talking about the foreign influences in our country, especially by enemies and adversaries that are trying to overthrow the nation from within. So as a general matter, what are you talking about there?
Well, Mark, we've had a very important and needed conversation about immigration in the United States. And that focus has been primarily on the effect on the economy, things like crime on our streets, how it influences our culture. Those are all super important. And the Trump administration deserves enormous credit for sealing the border. What this book is about is the weaponization of immigration. That is how foreign adversaries and neighbors like Mexico or countries like China or like the Muslim Brotherhood are using mass migration as a political weapon against us. So when somebody comes from Somalia or somebody comes from Mexico or somebody comes from China, they are bringing with them not only themselves, their family, and their culture, they're also bringing with them political networks. And these political networks are hostile to the United States. I quote extensively in the book from people from all three of those areas, how they view mass migration as a way of fundamentally transforming America. So we have sealed the border, which is vitally important, but these networks and these radicals continue to operate inside the United States. And as I document in the book, government officials from Mexico, individuals from China, from the Muslim Brotherhood, they are responsible for a lot of the chaos in our streets, the violent anti-ICE protests, the other protests that we've seen taking place. This is an organized effort to undermine America. So we need to think not just about immigration as an issue, but about weaponized immigration and how our foreign adversaries are using it against us.
And you were able to uncover, it's really quite amazing, various efforts, meetings overseas, meetings in this country with individuals from other countries strategizing how to do this over the course of the last several decades. I want to give the nation an example. What was the Sao Paulo Forum that took place? What was that all about? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is just one little example. These things are happening, scores and scores of them. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so the Sao Paulo Forum was an entity formed among left-wing progressive groups in Latin America in the 1990s. It was founded by Fidel Castro, the dictator of Cuba, and Lula, who is the current president of Brazil. And the goal was to create a unified structure for progressives in South America and North America. So it involves all the left-wing groups from Latin America, as well as groups in North America like the Democratic Socialists of America, which Bernie Sanders and AOC are involved. They talk explicitly about how using mass migration is a way to transform and fundamentally reorient America. For example, Mark, one of the members of the Sao Paulo Forum is the Morena Party, the ruling party in Mexico. And I just want to read, if I can briefly, a couple of quotes from Mexican officials of how they view mass migration to the United States. This is a quote. "We already know that the Mexican population in the United States reaches 39.9 million. We Mexicans are reclaiming our territory," end quote. That is a quote from a Mexican government report in December of 2024 by one of Sheinbaum's top aides. Or a powerful Mexican senator who sits on the National Defense Committee, also of the ruling Morena Party. "Mexicans are in our territories. California, Nevada, Texas, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Wyoming. We are going to take back the territory that was stolen from us." This is not just bravado, by the way, Mark. Mexico and these other governments have set up networks, infrastructures inside the United States to make that happen. So they don't view mass migration from Latin America as just an economic phenomenon. They view it as a political one that is going to allow them to fundamentally change the United States by exerting sovereign control over large portions of the United States. And it's working to some extent, and it's only going to get worse unless we deal with it.
And they've got our enemy within, in our faculty, in the Democrat Party, in the media, that provide a forum, provide a voice, provide indoctrination for these foreign countries on what they're doing. In fact, you also say in here in this chapter, which is very important, about the president herself, that is Sheinbaum, she's suggesting rename North America Mexican America. After all, she explained, the American states of California, Arizona, and Colorado were historically part of Mexico. She's part of this ideology, as you point out, and her words reflected the deeper reality. Below the surface, as you point out, Mexico's political elite have a profound cultural resentment toward the United States and a vision for radically changing American civilization through mass migration. So we have a nation south of the border that seeks to conquer us from within. They have help from the Democrat Party that wants Mexicans, and not just Mexicans, people from all over the world in this country, legally, illegally, and eventually citizenship, birthright citizenship. So, you know, the Wall Street Journal, other entities used to talk about replacement theory, and they used to say that demonstrates racism and bigotry. When people like me, they used to accuse me of this, talking about replacement theory. It's not a theory, is it? It's a reality. That is that they want to change the citizenry, the culture, the demographics, because we're not assimilating people in our colleges and universities and K through 12 anymore. It is a reality, isn't it, Peter Schweitzer?
Yes, it's absolutely a reality. And by the way, they tell us this is so. This is not a theory. I mean, I quote extensively in the book from foreign officials, from those in the United States as well, who see this as part of the strategy of shifting American culture. Look, for example, what's happened to labor unions. They have been wildly radicalized, especially those of the unskilled labor unions. Why? Because migrants came in that were part of foreign organizations, terrorist organizations like the FMLN. They seized control of these labor unions and radicalized them. And they openly claim credit for this. The Democratic Party itself has recognized that mass migration is an enormous electoral advantage for them. The first thing it does is it allows them to mint new voters. If you look at naturalization in the United States, by the way, I like immigration. My parents were immigrants, but this is weaponized immigration. The biggest years of naturalization of new immigrants in the United States have all been re-election years for Democrats. 1996, 2012 for Barack Obama, and 2024 for Joe Biden. Why is that? Because they know that new immigrants tend to vote 80 to 85% for Democrats. So what they did inside government those years, and they'll continue to try to do it in the future, is they dumbed down the rules for citizenship. They would ignore hundreds of thousands of documents related to criminal background checks on new immigrants. They wouldn't worry about language requirements. Why? Because they wanted to mint new voters, because it is a core constituency of the Democratic Party. So you have this alliance between foreign adversaries who want to undermine the United States and Democrats who domestically see this as an opportunity for they themselves to gain a political advantage. And it's been a hugely important one for them, Mark. That's why they're fighting so hard in the streets right now to prevent deportations.
100%. They brought them here and they have no intention of letting them go. They're at war with ICE. They're at war with the Trump administration. They want the border open and they want the people who are here illegally. They don't care who they are, what they've done, what their numbers are, the impact on the economy, the impact on security. They intend to fight to keep them here, and they have effectively weaponized the Democrat Party constituent groups almost like a militia. And you can hear the governors, you can hear the mayors, you can hear the members of Congress all talk the same way, with rhetoric that is intended to gaslight violence. This is the key. This will change the country forever. This book, The Invisible Coup, is absolutely critical to read. It is prescient. It is timely. You can get it at Amazon.com, any major bookstore. Come Tuesday. This is Peter's first exclusive interview. And just to put a fine point on it, you explain in the book Mexico organizing militancy in America in chapter 3. More than 60 people gathered in the white brick two-story building on the west end of Oklahoma City in late May. It was hot, but not because of the Oklahoma weather. America was amid the heated 2024 presidential election. And you go on and you say, among other subjects, the group was talking strategy about American politics, but in an unusual place. While they were in Oklahoma, they were in the Mexican consulate. Mexican consulate. Mexico had a lot to lose if the wrong person won the U.S. presidential election in November. They viewed the wrong person as President Trump. The group included Mexican diplomats from consulates all across the United States. So this was a plan, a plot, a strategy by official Mexico, was it not?
Exactly right. One of the, I think, shocking things that people discover from the book is that China and the United Kingdom have 6 and 7, respectively, consulates in the United States. Mexico has 53. And they are involved in our partisan politics, basically supporting Democrats, and they are interfering in our elections. And the meeting that you laid out took place in May of 2024. There were consular officials. These are Mexican diplomats from Los Angeles to Orlando who gathered in Oklahoma City. They were addressed by the Mexican foreign minister. Officials arrived from Mexico City. And the only other group of people at this meeting, Mark, were Democratic Party activists, organizers. And the conversation, I quote from the transcript, we got a copy of the transcript. The conversation included statements like, we helped to turn California from red to blue. We helped to turn Arizona from red to blue. We need to turn the rest of the country from red to blue. President Trump and Republicans are going to learn, if you F around, you're going to find out. In other words, it was a threat because of the immigration policies you're pushing. We, the government of Mexico, are going to mobilize our resources to try to defeat you. As far as I'm concerned, Mark, they should not have 53 consulates. We should kick these diplomats out that are engaging in these partisan political activities. And this infrastructure is also involved in supporting violent protests in the United States, these same consulates.
And I want Mr. and Mrs. America out there, I want you to understand, this is just one country. There's China. There's countries in the Middle East doing exactly the same thing. This is what I call revolution by immigration, and that's what's taking place. When we come back, Peter Schweizer, Importing the Revolution, which is a crucially important chapter, you write, from its earliest days, the sanctuary movement embraced the idea of using suitable immigrants as radical agents of change in the United States. Immigrants present an opportunity to create a social movement, explain Arizona law professors Lynn Jones and Nancy Wonders, affecting significant social change in the United States. Immigrants have great transformative potential. Well, we're sure seeing this with the Islamists who are coming into this country from all over the world, particularly the Middle East, but not only the Middle East. We see what's taking place in New York City with the Mondami family and so forth. And I want to dig into this much more thoroughly when we return.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
All right, you guys, let me come back to you. Wait, let me find you. Where are you? Mercy, where are you? Here? Oh, shoot. How's on my, oh no. Don't tell me. How's on my mic is good? Okay. Shit. What did I do? I'm sorry, you guys. I lost myself. Anyways, I think, why am I so small on the screen? You guys can see me? Oh, we see and hear you. Q89, listen. Sorry about that. So we're here. Okay, Uncle Claude. So let me say this. Some people brought up the black thing. Blacks, there's black Republicans. I don't usually do the color thing. I can say that, you know, I won't call their names out, but there's been some that were formerly Democrat in my email because they thanked me for introducing them to the Republican Party and telling them why we need to vote Republican, because it was the Republican Party that fought for Black civil rights, okay, and every other rights that we've had. I'm not going to get into it tonight, but I thought in honor of Martin Luther King Day, I should say that I don't have TDS respectfully and never insult. I just have my own opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. Oh, that's cool. So I'm from California. How are you? I'm from Palm Springs, California. Okay, Elizabeth. All right, you guys. So that was a lot to think about. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I think that it's important that we talk about these kind of things. I prefer to just share stuff with you and let you hear for yourself. Donald Trump is one of the hardest working presidents that we have had. And whether you like him or not, he is our president for the next 3 years. So I do support the commander-in-chief. I'm praying for Minnesota. I'm praying for this country. And let's make America great, okay? Girl, things change. I think that both parties are trash. Okay, but he's still our president for the next 3 years. And let me tell you something. If you want to make it in this country, you can. No excuses. No excuses. Can I explain what, JFMT? Aren't you the one that said you're from Europe? So you want me to explain American policies to you? I'm not sure where you want me to start. Biden tried to run this country into the ground on purpose. Seems that way. It seems that way. What are you drinking? Things are only going to get worse. I drink water. Water is my favorite drink. So I'm going to say this again. Stop demonizing the political right. We love this country. We stand for this country. We have fought for this country. And it's important to be able to talk about things. Blue Buddy, you got a lot to catch up on, John. Yeah, I'm not about to go through everything right now, you guys. All right. I'll see you guys later on the next stream. I need coffee. I got to lay it down. Good morning, Alfred Geek. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm going to lay it down, and I'll see y'all in a few hours. Well, I'll see you guys later today, okay? Let me get some rest, and you guys get some rest too. Obama, resurrection, or racism. We'll talk about it later today if you want to. Is the political right that's demonizing the left? No, we do not demonize the left. I'm not. That's touchy. You know that the political right is being demonized. Let me say this before I go. Because when you have somebody like Nicki Minaj, whether you like her or not, come out and say, you know what, I support Donald Trump, I support JD Vance, and now you guys are signing a petition to get her deported, or want to cancel her just because she said she stands for the right, but if she would have come out here in support of, let's say, Obama or Biden, who's not even in office, then she'd be accepted. So there's something definitely wrong there when you express love for a president and then people want to cancel you. So that's why I speak about these things out loud, because it's definitely hypocritical. I'll say that. Misunderstood virtual hug. Virtual hug right back. All right, I'm about to get it here now because all the spilled milk got me lost. There's problems. The right labels the left domestic terrorists. Never happens on the right. Talks too much, whatever. It's their ignorance. It's ignorance action stats. It's very ignorant. And I deal with it. I deal with it in my chat, but I pretty much let people rock out. My mods kind of handle it. Netherlands are unlimited number of parties. GFMT, okay. So anyways, you guys. I love you guys. I'm going to lay it down and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.